This time I'll call the October 28th, 2021 meeting to order for the Dickinson County Commission. Would you please stand and join in the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we do on our agenda have one item to add, an executive session for 15 minutes. And Craig?
Non-elected personnel.
Non-elected personnel is the purpose, okay. And adding that to the agenda and as amended, I would move that we approve the agenda with that addition.
I'll second it.
We have the motion, we have the second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. The consent agenda includes the minutes of the October 21st meeting, also payroll of $320,204.25.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda. Second.
We have the motion and a second for approval of the consent agenda. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Commission comments. Ron?
I did spend a little bit of time yesterday on the steering committee deal for zoning. We got a lot done. It looks like we'll be meeting back in January to finish things up. So things are rolling along pretty well.
Okay. Craig?
Yes, be attending the North Central Regional Planning Commission by Zoom at 2 o'clock today. Also, Judge Collett, we rode the 29th of October at 1:30 at the courtroom over in courtroom 2 in Gary County. That's all I have, man.
Okay. Earlier today, we had Emily Nichols in here. She's our communications director, and she gave us an update and some of the activity in that department. And the EMS obviously is so important to the community for the many emergencies that come up, and they remain very, very busy there. And you know, some of the work really is very stressful and involves a lot, and appreciated the update that she provided us. And we also had John Holgren in here, and he gave us an update as far as some of the information regarding COVID and some of the averages, and things appear to be on the decline, which is good news. Earlier this morning too, I attended the Military Affairs Council breakfast over at Junction City. And it's kind of a regional type meeting. So there's people from Manhattan, many from Fort Riley and Junction City and throughout the area. And there actually were a few people from Abilene over there also. They gave an update of some of the support groups for Fort Riley that assist the soldiers, but also just help develop the community partnerships. And Diane Hepler, she's with the Lady Troopers, longtime person over there. She gave a report. And then also the Society of the Big First Society, Phyllis Fitzgerald gave a report there. AUSA gave a report and an update. Small business loans. So anyway, it was just a good informational meeting. That's all I have.
You might mention the tour we took last week. I was going to let I know if you were going to mention the tour we took after.
Oh, okay. And last week after our meeting, of course, Kathy was with us, and a group of us went around and just kind of did a tour of the county and made several stops just to kind of see how things were throughout the county, but also looking at some of the roads and some of the bridges. There was one that had recently been taken care of, and then there was one in process. And but you know, there's a lot around the county, and we covered quite a lot of windshield time getting around to the portions of the county that we're able to see. And we typically try to do that annually or and sometimes more often. The next item we do not have any petitions or proclamations, so we do have public comments. And so we'll have opportunity for that, but we also have Don Hammett with us today, and would like you to give us an update. Appreciate having you here. Yes, step right up to the table is fine.
Thank you for allowing me this moment to talk to you, commissioners. I appreciate it. I just wanted to make sure that you particularly were aware that the Eisenhower Presidential Library's museum has recently been allowed to reopen. In fact, recently as yesterday. We reopened yesterday to the public, limited capacities, limited days and hours. So currently we are open to the public Wednesday through Saturday. We're open 10 to 3, but our ticket sales end at 2 to allow those last guests time to come through. So the online ticket sales remain in place as it was in the beginning of the summer when we were open before. And we have the place of meditation, which is also open. So the Boyhood home remains closed, the library remains closed, and the visitor center remains closed.
Okay. Don, how much are the tickets?
The tickets are regular price, $12. There's different price breakdown for different demographic groups.
Okay.
And I suddenly realized that I can give you an update on the Boyhood home renovations as well. The National Archives allocated funds for the renovation of the envelope of the building. There's a lot of dry rot. The building needs to be repainted. We're going to change the drainage away from the foundation of the structure, a new roof, update HVAC, and update fire suppression system. So there's a lot of work going into it. Sadly, the bids came back quite a bit higher than the original funding allocation. So the project had to go back to the National Archives for additional funds. So I believe that the vote on additional funding sources should be within the next several weeks. So we should hear within the next several weeks if additional funding sources have been identified for the project.
Okay. One question I have, and some of this is more to do with the foundation, so
Happy to help.
you would be aware of it. But the other day I had something I received in the mail, and I think it was a general mailing that they sent out, but the legislature put a funding mechanism that if someone gives a contribution, and I think $1,000 was the minimum amount, but they had different intervals. You could give more than that, obviously.
Yes.
But there's tax advantages to doing that.
Tax credits, that's exactly right. So if you make a donation in at least $1,000 to the Eisenhower Foundation, you will receive Kansas state tax credits. It's a great benefit to state residents, and we're very hopeful that residents will see this as a benefit and donate to the Eisenhower Foundation for it.
Okay.
Don't you get the full $1,000 tax credit?
As far as I understand it.
Get half of it,
Oh, 50%, he's right.
$500,
It's still pretty.
1,000 but 50%, and you can't get it back as a refund. So if it's been a wash on your taxes, but it is helpful. So I guess if someone has questions, they can talk to you or the foundation or their tax advice.
I'll send them to the foundation directly. Yep.
Okay, but it's an opportunity because it actually gives another tool for people to give a contribution to something that's important to us here at the local level,
And then there's a personal benefit to it as well.
so it helps everyone. Okay, any questions or comments?
You know,
I want to thank you guys for your patience and understanding as we go through this time. I really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you coming here, and it's always good to hear good news.
It is good news. Thank you.
There would be time for additional public comments too. If anyone would want to make a comment, you would just need to identify yourself and where you live and what your question or comment is if it's something that is not on the agenda. And so not having any comments, we'll go ahead and move on. And next item we have is a report of county officers. Our county administrator, Brad Hallman, if you'd give us your report, please.
Okay, you mentioned the bridges that we looked at last week. The guys are going to complete the one that was under construction this week. May very well be done today, depending on how muddy it is. They had to stop yesterday. The only thing they had left was a guardrail to get done. But having seen some sunlight out today, they might be able to get in and get it finished today. And Then they will move to a bridge on 2650 Avenue here northwest of town and start on it next week. So they've got 2 or 3 left to do this year, and at the rate they're going, they should be able to get those accomplished. So the mastic ceiling that we saw down on D Street and Union, or on Union Road, Martin has decided to have them finish Union and D Street and stop them for the year. They're also scheduled to go over and do Solomon Road north of I-70. And with the weather turning off cooler, it's getting too cool to apply that. So he would prefer to wait and have them do it after the first year rather than getting something done that's not going to adhere properly. So plus our paint stripers will be here next week. And so if he's coming in, and we wanted him to be able to get the striping down on those 2 sections of road and didn't want to miss part of it. So we'll hold off on the mastic till after the first year and wait till it warms up to finish that segment. So, and then I don't know whether I'd reported, but a couple of weeks ago, we had a stop sign stolen from 500 Avenue and Oat Road just south of Hope. It was one of our flashing stop signs that we had purchased and erected. And this week, the sheriff's department was able to recover that stop sign, which is excellent news. The downside is I don't think people realize how dangerous it is to steal a stop sign. It's one thing to take traffic control devices and signs, but stop signs are a critical component that needs to be there for traffic safety. And we do encourage people to report to us if they see a stop sign missing. We will send a crew out and erect another one immediately. We don't wait till the next day because we take that very seriously. So we appreciate the sheriff's department for working on that, recovering that one for us. We appreciate Crime Stoppers because I think that played a big part of getting the word out and helping their investigation along. And we would encourage anybody that knows any information about those stop signs that we've had 3, I think this week, Martin said, that were in the last week that were stolen various locations, not the flashing ones, regular stop signs. And so the flashing stop signs cost us a little over $1,000. And so they're an investment in the safety of the public. I think we have 12 of them out now in place, or 11, and we keep a spare. We're going to do 4 more here in the near future, but I'm hoping that over time they will prove to be a very positive benefit to help reduce those intersection crashes. But we do take that seriously, so we would encourage anybody that hears about those to pass that information along to the proper authorities. So
There might be a way to put a tracer or something on there because if could be a deterrent.
yeah, we'll look into that. So and then also I provided you a copy of the construction plans for the parking lot here for the health department. We had looked at that several months ago and you saw the deterioration out here. And so we had Caw Valley draw us up a set of plans with the necessary repairs and specifications. And hopefully by first of next week, I'll be able to get that RFP done and get that published on our website to try and solicit some bids on that project to see what we're going to be looking at. So that's all I've got.
The money for that construction plan, what will that come out of?
Good question.
There was some money sitting in the health department capital outlay, but not.
Yeah, I noted Dawn's comment that the bids come in higher. I suspect it would come in higher, and that's one reason that we are obviously bidding this one, but I also kind of like to know what the construction estimate's going to be to compare. And after we talked about that in the work session, I emailed Caw Valley and he said he'd get something together by the end of the day for me. So we don't know what to expect, Greg, in all honesty. And that's why I want to know ahead of time so we can kind of prepare for it and see if we can even afford it.
I didn't see anything, how many estimated yards of concrete it take, or
Yeah.
anything on there, but I didn't see it.
So
We could rebar and
Well, and some may look at it as just a parking lot, but it's not parking spaces that we can just eliminate or do away with. And so
yeah, if you were to look at
There's
it now, it's pretty full. So
there's a safety factor involved when people walk and conditions and if some of that moisture coming up once it's some freezing weather. And
get worse.
so we'll keep you posted on that.
okay, thank you, Doug.
I have nothing at this time. Thank you.
Okay, Sheriff, are you just here to listen to us or would?
I need to speak with Doug when he gets.
Okay, but if you had a comment, just never hesitate to weigh in.
Oh, I will.
Okay. Just in case there's any doubt. Okay. Notices and communications, we really didn't have too much. Brad, I'll give this to you. This is from Assurance Partners. And I think it's just indication that one of the builders or work companies, Harbin Construction, that they do have adequate liability insurance. So it's the certificate that they have.
Yeah, that's for the EMS building that we did 10 years ago, so I don't know why they keep sending us that, but
Okay. Well, they still have the insurance, I guess. So,
yeah, why couldn't we get that on the roof that we had and on the courthouse? Yeah.
and then we also had our magazine from County News, and then also noticed that the Dickinson County Historical Society is having their 93rd annual meeting, November 18th. And the interested members, but also the commissioners are invited. So we'll take that under advisement. And I believe the 4-H banquet is coming up next month. We have notice on that. And then Craig, you already mentioned the robing on Judge Collette tomorrow. And I won't be able to attend that, but anyway, congratulations to him.
I had gotten that invitation as well, and I noted that kind of a good note that it's at the Navarre School building where they're having their meeting and dinner.
Yes.
So good to see that used.
Yeah, I did not have any other notices or communications. Anyone else had one? They could advise us. We do not have any resolutions or other business to consider. We did add to the agenda an executive session for non-elected personnel and not to exceed 15 minutes. It's 11:18 right now. I'll go ahead and make the motion that we go into executive session at 11:20 for the purpose of discussing non-elected personnel. And it would include the commissioners and also Brad Hammond and Craig, anyone else?
I don't know if Doug needs to be, I mean.
Well, Doug could, he's here, so yes.
Either way.
I mean, if you got something else to do, I mean, it's not going to involve anything legal or anything. I hope nothing illegal.
Well, let's have Doug here, but if he feels like he needs to leave or if you need to talk to the sheriff, you could slip in after we start or.
And then you come back in.
Okay.
So at 11:20, I've got the motion that we go ahead into executive session. We have the second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We will go in just a minute recess here and then unelected personnel executive session. Give us back online, Brad.
Yes, we're back on.
Okay. We have completed our executive session. I would make a motion that we return to our regular session.
I'll second that.
We have the motion and second to return to regular session. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We're back in regular session. We did have a meeting for 15 minutes, and it was to discuss non-elected personnel. And that discussion took place, and there's no other action to be taken. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second it. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We're adjourned.